Hello, my students in grade 9. This is a new mathematics lecture. It's lecture 6, and the title of our lecture is Proportion. What are the objectives of our lesson? Number 1, we will identify proportional quantities. Number 2, representation of proportionality. Number 3, percentage and proportion. Number 4, calculations on percent, the discount, and the raise. What's the definition of proportionality? In mathematics, two numbers are directly proportional if they have a constant ratio. Suppose you are given two quantities x and y. These quantities are directly proportional if the ratio, what do I mean by the ratio? If the fraction of y to x is constant, it is a number, it doesn't change. So the ratio y over x should be always equal to k. The ratio is y over x, the k is a number. Now, here I have y over x equal k. If I do the cross multiplication, so I get y equal k times x is kx. So this is very important to always remember. The ratio is y over x equal k, then y is equal to kx. What do we call k? It is the proportionality coefficient. As an example, in the following table, given the two quantities x and y, if x is 7, y is 14. If x is 4, y is 8. If x is 10, y is 20. If x is 3, y is 6. X is 21, y is 42. The question here, determine k if y is proportional to x. So in the question, I have y and x are proportional to each other. Y is proportional to x. So first, what do? Always get the ratio y over x. This ratio, I always should get this ratio y over x. So since y, I write, since y is proportional to x, so I write 14 over y over x equal 14 over 7 equal 8 over 4 equal 20 over 10 equal 6 over 3 equal 42 over 21. So if you divide all these fractions, all these ratios, 14 over 7 is 2, 8 over 4 is 2. Here we have, I have a typing mistake. Here we should have 20 because it's y over x. So it should be 20 over 10. 20 over 10 is always 2. 6 over 3, it's also 2. 42 over 21 is 2. So the proportionality coefficient is how much? It's 2. Why? Because y and x are proportional. That's why we have the same proportionality coefficient, which is k and which is 2. Now, representation of proportionality. How can we represent proportionality? We can represent proportionality, number 1, using table representation. Both quantities x and y will be found in a table. For every quantity x, there corresponds or exists a quantity y. For example, x is 1, y is 1.5, x is 2, y is 3, x is 3, y is 4.5, x is 4, y is 6. Prove that this table is a proportionality table. I should prove that this table is a proportionality table. How should I start? I should get each ratio y over x. So I get 1.5 over 1 equal 1.5. 3 over 2, it's also equal to 1.5. 4.5 over 3 is also equal to 1.5. 6 over 4 is, which is a 3 over 2, is also equal 1.5. So since k is equal to 1.5, then this is a proportionality table, since we have the same k in all the table. Another example, So here I have the values of x and the values of y. Is this a proportionality table? Let's check. We get the ratio y over x. 2 over 1 is 2. 4 over 2 is 2. 6 over 3 is 2. 9 over 4 is 2.25. Is it the same k? Since here is 2, here is 2, here we have it 2, but here we have it 2.25. Since we have different k, so this is not a proportionality table. So to have a proportionality table, we should have the same proportionality coefficient in all our table. Number 2, we can represent proportionality using linear or algebraic relation. After calculating the proportionality coefficient, we use the relation y over x equal k. So what do? Y over x equal 1.5. So y over x equal 1.5 over 1. We do the cross multiplication. Y times 1 is y. 1.5 times x is 1.5x. So y equal 1.5x. This is a linear or algebraic relation to represent proportionality. Another example, y equal radical 5 over 2x. Also, this is a proportionality coefficient. Why? Because we have y in terms of x. Is this a proportionality coefficient? No. Why? Because here we have a minus 4. Can we do this as a proportionality coefficient? Yes, because it's written y equal 3x. Another representation is the graphical representation. We represent it as a graph. So for every value x, there corresponds a value y. If I have 1x, so y is 1.5. If it's 2, y is a 3. If it's a 3, y is 4.5. If it's 4, y is 6. Now I join all these. This is the graph of the proportionality coefficient of y to x. Now, so here we write y, here we are writing y in terms of x. Now, the equality A over B equals C is a very important equality. What does this mean? So if we have the equality A over B equals C over D, then A, B, C, and D are terms of proportion. A and D, we call them the extremes. C and B, we call them the means. What can we get from this proportionality relation or proportionality equation or equality? We can say, first, A over C is also equal to B over D, or C over A is equal to D over B, or we can say B over A is equal to D over C. This one is used very much with us in this lesson. We use it too much in this lesson. We do the cross multiplication. A times D is equal to B times C. Also, I'm sorry for these typing mistakes. So this is C times B. So if I multiply A times D, I do the cross multiplication is equal to C times B. Given the following table, x, radical 5 minus 1, radical 5 plus 1, and x. Find x if this is a proportionality table. So if this is a proportionality table, how can we find x? Let me show you how can we find x. Since this is a proportionality table, so we can use this relation. We can do the cross multiplication relation. So I multiply x. So since this is a proportionality table, I multiply x times x is, and radical 5 minus 1 into radical 5 plus 1. X times x is x squared. Radical 5 minus 1 into radical 5 plus 1. Here I have a minus b into a plus b. So x squared is equal to 5 minus 1. Then x squared is equal to 4. This is a second degree equation. I take everything on the second side to the first side. So x squared minus 4 equals 0. Now I factorize the side 1. So x minus 2 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. Let's solve it. This is a product equation. X equals 2 and x equals minus 2. Now we move on. Now percentage and the proportion. A percent is a ratio whose second term is 100. So in a percent, it is a ratio, it is a fraction. In the second term, we have 100. It is A over 100. For example, 20%, it is 20 over 100. It is 20 of 100. 60% is 60 over 100. Now, as an example, in grade 9, 20% of the students are boys. So the percentage of boys is 20 over 100. Also, in grade 9, there are 25 students, 12 of them are boys. So 12 over 25 are boys. So 12 of 25 are boys. Now, another example. In a school, 20% of 80 students wear eyeglasses. How many students wear eyeglasses? So I write 20% out of what? Of 100. So 20 out of 100. And I should know the number of 80, from 80. So I do the cross multiplication. X times 100 is 100x equal 20 times 80. So 100x equal 1,600. I solve this equation, so x is equal to 16. So the number of students who wear eyeglasses are 16. Now, what percent of $25,000 is $400? So I have 400 out, 20,500. How many out of 100? Because I'm asked to find the percentage out of 100. So also I do the cross multiplication and I get it using the equation. So x equals 16%. Now these are very important. Each percent is out of the total 100 of the percentages. Each number, it's out of total. For example, 5 boys in a class of 20, so 5 out of 20. The ratio is always out of 1, and if you are given an angle, it's out of the total 360 degrees. Now, calculations on percent. These are called percentage of increase or decrease, raise or discount. These are used in stores whenever we have discounts or addition on prices. You should study these two rules. These two rules are the application in this part of our lesson. If we have increase or raise, so we use the rule y equal 1 plus a over 100, all of it times x. Raise means a plus, or increase means a plus. Decrease or discount, so y equal 1 minus a over 100, all of it times x. So in decrease or discount, we use the minus. What does y, a, and x mean in these rules? Y means the new quantity or the new price I want to find. X is the old quantity or the old price, and A is the percentage of increase or decrease. It depends on the question. Now we will solve exercises. Find the selling price Y of an article at an increase of 12%. So I should find Y, which is the new price, if I have increase of 12%. So increase means I should use this rule, which has the plus. Y equal 1 plus a over 100x. Y is the new price and x is the old price. A is the percentage of increase. How much is the percentage of increase? It's 12. So I replace a by 12. Now here inside I have unlike fractions. I change them into like. So instead of 1, I multiply by 100, so 100 over 100. Now, 100 plus 12 is 112 over 100. So I get, this is the relation between the new price and the old price. Now, if I'm given x, I multiply it by 1.12 to get the new price. If I'm given Y, I can get the old price. Always I should get this relation to find the new quantity or the new price, then the old quantity or the old price. Another example, find the selling price Y of an article at a discount of 8%. Since I have a discount, I use the rule of minus. So I replace A by 8. 1, I make it 100 over 100. So 100 minus 8 is 92 over 100. Now I divide on my calculator 92 over 100. It's equal to 0.92x. Now, the old price of an article is $50. Its price increased by 8%. Find the new price. So what do we mean by old price? It's the X. So the X or the old price is $50. Increased by 8%, so A increased, which means a plus, and 8 is A. We should find the new price, which is Y. So we use Y equal 1 plus A over 100. We replace A by 8. So 108 over 100, it's 1.08x. This is the relation. Now, I'm given the old price X $50, so I replace X by 50. 1.08 times 50, so the new price will become $54. So I'm now sending you a worksheet on this lesson. Please study the rules well. Study the rules on this slide very well, because we will use these rules too much. And also study the rules of increase and decrease in prices or quantities. After you watch this video, if you have any question, whatever the question is, please contact me directly and I'll answer all of your questions. Thank you.